if y'all didn't catch that, there are no children in this car. And we are going to Lake Uwaball all by ourselves with no kids car. Steven's driving, just so y'all know, scares the living crap out of me.
Just wait to go on a boat.
You're driving on our boat right now on the lake, scares the crap out of me. His mode of operation is pedal to the floor, slam on your brakes when you need to stop. Like, you get whiplash with that crap.
So it's been a bit of a busy week.
Like the second half of the week has been exhausting. So if we look like we're about to fall over, it's because we're tired. We've also had a lot of issues with our cameras. Steven has this little camera that I got. We got this, I don't remember what, you're doing falconry, I think, when we bought that.
Yep, so a little SJ cam. It's basically a GoPro knockoff. I actually really like these in comparison to the GoPros. They're a lot cheaper. They're about a fifth of the price. They obviously don't have every bells and whistles that the GoPro has at, you know, $350, $400 for one of those. But I think, coming from a photographic background, we actually think that the color that you get off these is actually better than the GoPros.
It's more, when I put it into our photographic software that we use for editing, the colors are more true, basically.
Yeah, so there's less editing for us to be able to do,
Which I think most people probably are not editing in that way, what I was checking for, because I was editing from a photography standpoint, not a film. I don't know about film.
So this is fairly old, and at the time that we bought it, you could only get one battery with them. So we need to probably get a couple more, but we've got another one of these, an updated version, and that'll be coming soon.
But the issue, what I was trying to get to is, we took this with us because we did something really special on Saturday, and we're going to tell you all about that in a minute. We did something really cool on Saturday. So we took this to try to video it, and I'll probably put a little bit of that footage in there because there is some footage of me telling Steven that he either had to stop driving or let me drive. It was pretty bad. It was pretty scary. But Steven, I'm serious that we are going to go home right now if you can't stop doing that.
I was.
You literally almost hit them.
Yeah, well, I thought they were going to go because they're
I know.
halfway out there.
Your mode of operation needs to be keep my wife alive, not give her whiplash. I'm serious, or I can drive.
Alright, I'll slow down.
We didn't video most of what we intended to because the battery died. Yeah. And we had charged the battery, so I think it needs a new battery. Once we realized that battery died, we pulled this out.
So this is another little camera.
I have no idea what brand it is, but it's not worth the money, I'm telling you.
It's a G007.
So, a few years ago, when Steven was doing falconry every single day, during the hunting season, he went 7 days a week. He went out for 2 or 3 hours a day hunting with his Harris hawk. I bought him, I think it was for Christmas or his birthday, I bought him a little bitty camera that it was the size of like a little bitty key fob, and it had a little clip like this on it that and the way that it sat, it was like the lens was in this part, and so you could just, it was little, and you just slide it right on your hat, and the lens was right there, and you could carry it around. He still has that camera, but he made some sort of adjustments to it for falconry, and I think because at one point you mounted it on your bird.
Yes, so there was a way to, in falconry there's a way to mount transmitters on so you can keep hold of them. Or know where they're going.
So if it flies off, you can find it, basically.
And I mounted that onto there, but then I made a specialized hood with a camera extension onto the hood so you could see exactly what the bird was seeing.
Right, so all that's anyway, so all that's kind of irrelevant to what, I mean, it's like the backstory, so you have to understand. What I wanted was one of those. And to be honest, I should have just went back to the person that I went to eventually, which was Brandy Nickerson. And if y'all go back a couple of blogs ago, you will see where I put a link to their wildlife refuge or their rehab and wildlife rehabilitation stuff. They do amazing work, and they currently have Steven's most recent hawk. He gave it to them because we are going to go sailing and he can't take the boat. Anyway, I should have just went back to her and said, hey Brandy, where did you tell me to buy that? But no, I went out on Amazon and I searched, and this was the closest thing I could find. The problem is it has this little hole right here, and when you turn it on, there's a blue light, and when you turn it to video, there's a red light, and they both flash. The problem is that it will both be flashing as if it is recording, and then you get back and there's nothing on it. So I don't know. It was a waste of money, and I wish I never bought it. You want a lot for my birthday's coming up pretty soon. Do you want one for my birthday?
Keep off camera.
I do. I want a couple of them that I can just. I feel like even at this size, it's just weird to walk around. Hey, I would just like to have a little camera on here, and then people don't even notice it, and they don't, you can go video stuff. So this was the big important thing that we did on Saturday. We thank you to Shelby and Bailey, who came and picked our kids up and took them to their house for the whole day.
Good job, Bailey.
Yeah, because they only have one child, so to go from 1 to 6 for an entire day, I'm sure was chaos, but I think it's funny. Anyway, they picked up our kids and took them to their house and even fed them dinner and stuff, so that Stephen and I could go to Lake Ulaga, to RedBud Marina. And at the end, I will show some video. Oh, we have a very little video because our camera died. But what did we get? Can you show them?
So we signed up to 2 classes. So we're going to do the 101
one class. We each signed up for one class.
ASA signing class. So we got 2 packets. Within those packets are a guide to RedBud Marina, which was pretty impressive.
Really not important to what we were doing, but I did find it interesting that if you live in Oklahoma or you want to visit Oklahoma, you can go to RedBud Marina and rent or charter a sailboat. I didn't know you could do that in Oklahoma, near Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, I didn't realize that was a thing. Not here. I didn't realize we had water that could do that.
There's a nice little welcome letter. There's also a vessel identification sheet and aids to navigation sheet.
This is so confusing. Like, I've looked at it 5 or 6 times and it's confusing to me.
So that'll be something.
This backside is even more confusing. I hope they're going to teach me something because that's confusing to me.
And then they also give you a map of the area. So even though the lake's so big, you can only go up about halfway, and they recommend that you don't go past Goose Island. And the reason for that is it gets very shallow, and you can only really sail in the channels, which become very narrow. Also, the bridge that crosses Ulaga Lake is a fixed bridge, so you can't actually sail under it. So, but the distance between the marina and Goose Island is about 30 minutes by rescue boat, and the reason why we found out about that was the marina told us that they'd had a couple of cases where someone had actually
one case specifically
gone past Goose Island and got stuck, and they ended up being there for 3 days.
In that particular case, yes. It was a family or a couple, I'm not sure. I can't really work out what she said on that, but anyway, this was the funny part about it. It was they had a boat, they were preparing to sail around the world. We should have asked, because I'm sure if they were preparing, they were probably videoing, we could be watching their YouTube channel, but it would be very interesting to see somebody from Oklahoma that was wanting to do exactly what we want to do. But anyway, they were preparing to sail around the world, and they ended up just, they were staying on their boat a lot and ended up getting stuck in Oklahoma and for 3 days in the mud during a very heavy flood season.
Yep.
I mean, we were flooded at the time. How the water was that shallow, I don't know. But anyway, I found it interesting.
Then we got the official logbook that you stick all your certifications in, and log all your time. Now RedBud is certified to go up to ASA 105, so we've decided that we want to do all of that through RedBud. They're one of the oldest sailing schools in Oklahoma. Plus, we're not ready to buy a boat just yet.
I could see us doing what everybody on the other videos that we've watched has done, where they bought the boat, they lived on it, they had somebody come out and train them and take them off for a few days and come back. If we were in a position to buy a boat, but we're not. We have things that we have to do before we buy a boat. So why not get trained?
Yep. So we've decided that we'll do one or two of the courses each year for the next couple of years, and try and get some additional sailing experience, because neither of us have ever sailed before. So
I am planning to do everything I can to accelerate that. I want us to go well before these last 3 kids are old enough to jump ship, because I just don't. I'm ready for them to not be involved in the general population of the world. I mean, Talon is going to be, he's 12 right now, and the stuff that he's been not that he's been talking about, just the stuff coming out of his mouth lately, I'm ready to exclude him from all human beings for a while.
So, and then the final thing is the course book. So that's Sailing Made Easy. So we're looking forward to studying that, and we're actually going to study it with our kids so that they understand some of it and they can help us out when we finally get out there. But we've just both decided to go for certification because partly it's recommended, but if one of
Partly
us...
I'm afraid something's going to happen to him and I've got to be able to get back to shore. That's the part of the problem.
Or the truth is she's kicked me off the boat and she's carried on sailing.
That could happen too. I mean, if he drives that boat like he drives his truck, I might.
Yeah.
I'll show you all a video. Well, I wouldn't be able to see how he was driving, but it was
If
scary.
I've had enough, I'll kick you off the boat.
I don't think you'd get by with that. Them kids, they protect me.
Alright.
I have said a few times that it's a wonder after almost 13 years of marriage that neither one of us is missing and neither one of us is on the first 48 hours for the missing person. But, I mean, it's a big ocean. You're setting yourself up to go missing.
We'll
No,
see.
that's a joke. If he goes missing, I swear to God, I didn't do anything. Anyway, next thing that we did while we were at RedBud Marina, Stephen and I have said a lot to each other. We don't say a lot to y'all, but a lot to each other. That he feels like financially we would be better off with the monohull. I have said from day one that I have a lot of children, and while I think part of my brain is focused on the fact that we have anywhere from 5 to 7 to 8 children most of the time, and that would not be the case when we go sailing. We would not be fostering, so we would only have our 3 youngest children. We do have other children though that are adults, and they will be coming to see us, and I'm sure that we're gonna have family come out on the boat. I don't want family coming on the boat and then not having a place to sleep. I mean, how rude would it be to say, hey, come vacation with us for 2 weeks. By the way, here's an air mattress.
Yeah, people do it.
I'm sure they do, and we put kids on air mattresses all the time. But, I don't know. I feel like a monohull would provide us with the room that we need, with at least 4 cabins. But
Catamaran.
yes, I'm sorry. I meant a catamaran with 4 cabins.
Nearly had it.
No. But Stephen is stuck on this idea of a monohull. The other problem for me with the monohull is I've seen those videos of the boats. Our boat that we have right now, if you get up fast enough out in the water, it leans to one side.
Can do.
If you're turning at all, it leans to one side.
Yeah.
And it completely freaks me out. Every single time it happens, I'm like, slow down. What is wrong? Why is the boat flipping over? And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we have a lot of children on the boat, and I'm not trying to have dead kids or nothing.
It's a tall boat, so it also leans over to the side when there's some strong winds. So
Yes. So that in itself has me convinced that I can't live on a monohull leaned over to the side 90% of the time. I just can't do it.
So one of the things that we want to do is go and check out a whole bunch of boats.
I want to set foot in a lot of boats before we invest in a boat that we're going to live on.
So as start of that process, we actually stepped foot on a boat that's been rebuilt at RedBud Marina.
They have a boat for sale if somebody wants a project boat. It would definitely be a project boat. I loved the position of the steering wheel.
What boat was it?
Oh, it was a 44-foot Beneteau. That's what we lived in.
It was the owner's edition, so there was only 2 cabins, which wouldn't have suited us anyway.
No, I mean, I guess if we wanted to put talent out on a couch somewhere, but there were things that I liked about that boat, though.
Yeah.
I loved where the steering wheel was positioned because it was right in the center of the boat, and I do feel that with a catamaran, it'll be like our boat. Our boat has the steering wheel on the right hand side, and then I always feel like where I'm steering is not where I really end up going. So, and that's terrible. We've had that boat for a while now.
Yeah.
I should know how to steer it. So the fact that steering wheel was in the center of the boat and it was up pretty high, so I feel like if you're standing there steering, you could see where you're going. Of course, the mast wasn't on it, so maybe not. But when you walk into the boat, I thought it was beautiful on the inside. If you're able to see past all the stuff that needs to be fixed. There were 2. Why are you taking my papers?
Because you're fiddling with them.
So, anyway, that's real life. I fiddle with stuff all the time. When you walked into the cabin part, it was a huge open space.
Yeah.
A lot more space than I expected, and there was room for 2 tables and a couple with seats that went around them. And then straight ahead was not the main cabin, but the other cabin, and it had, or is that what it's called, a cabin?
Yeah.
Anyway, there was enough room in there that you could walk on both sides of the bed, and it had its own little head. And then if you went backwards, there was like a hallway that led up to the main cabin, and it had all the kitchen stuff on it.
Probably.
On one side, and then cabinets to store stuff on the other side. I liked the way that was set up. I felt like you would be able to move around in there really easily and get to everything that you needed while you were cooking. And then when you went into the main cabin, again, there was enough room that you could walk on both sides of the beds. So that was like more roomy than I expected. And the bathroom in the main cabin was bigger than the bathroom that we have in our camper right now. And our camper sleeps
8. It can sleep 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8. And then if you're like us and you have little kids, you can sleep. We've slept 12 in that camper. Just saying, it's a pretty decent size. It's not a huge camper, but it's decent sized. But the bathroom is not as big as what was on this boat, and the shower area is not as big as what's on this boat. So I was impressed by those things.
Yeah. One of the things we weren't impressed with was, as you came into the master cabin on the right hand side, there was some paneling that was obviously had got wet because had that ripple effect that wood gets when it's got wet and then dried out.
Yeah.
But you went up and touched it, and
when I saw it, I immediately knew that it was wet, and so I just reached over and touched it because it didn't look like it had been wet. It looked like it was wet. So I touched it and came back with a handful of water. And it rains here today. It wasn't raining yesterday. So I don't understand that, where that water came from. But there was water in that wall, like standing water in the wall. So that would have been a major issue to fix.
yeah.
Also, it had like trim around the top of everywhere. It was like vinyl or leather, but most of it was just hanging. It wasn't attached, and so first thing I would have to rip all that off because it would drive me nuts. So I wasn't impressed with that. I feel like it really needed a lot of TLC really. Somebody
Yeah,
needed to
I
rip
reckon
all
there
that
was
out.
probably about $100,000 worth of additional work
Just
to
the,
it.
just because it seemed like it was falling apart really, and the outside still needed to be painted. It needed
Yeah.
the bottom job, but
Yeah, just to make it saleable would have been.
it was on the water.
100,000.
This boat was not on the water. I don't feel like I could put that boat in the water,
No.
and I feel like they wanted too much money for that boat.
Yeah.
If for what they were asking, would.
And we
want
checked
to
the
get-
price online, and we've seen a couple of others for a lot less. So
Yeah.
they're in the same state. So yeah,
I mean, we weren't looking to buy anyway, but I was just a little bit shocked about how much they wanted for it. And what was anything else that you really liked about it though?
I just was amazed at how wide it was, the amount of space that you had in the living room area. You know, it wasn't, and you could walk around inside it without banging your head
Yeah,
or
there was
anything like
there
that.
was a lot of room inside there. The only thing is, there was only 2 cabins, and at minimum we would have to have 3 because I can't put a teenage boy in with some teenage girl. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. So one of the last things that we did was we went to West Marine. I've only been there once before. I went to check it out. I didn't even know we had one in Tulsa. So I took the opportunity to take Latrell there because we do need stuff for our existing boat, which is a Bayliner Sunridge. It's a 2455. Has a 5.7 litre small block Chevy engine in it. We basically got it very cheap about 5 years ago.
It looks like we got it for very cheap too. It's not the prettiest boat,
But we've had a lot of fun with it. So
we have had a lot of fun on that boat.
So there was a few parts that we wanted for the boat. I wanted some new battery cables.
I bought this little rubber seal. I'm gonna make him fix the toilet.
So it also has a head in it, as well as a stovetop kitchen thing. It's powerful enough to pull me on a wakeboard anyway, and pull a big, huge inflatable sausage that the kids like to ride. So we got those bits, but the other thing that we got was some sailing gloves because I don't want us to hurt our hands when we're sailing and pulling on ropes.
He thinks we need them for our class, so that's why we got them.
So what we noticed was there was 2 kinds for the men, which was the short fingered ones, as well as the full fingers. But what we noticed for the women's was that they only had the full fingers. They didn't have the short ones. And when you're sailing in Oklahoma during the summer months, it's going to be very, very hot. So these are going to be very wet and sweaty. And
that is not why I needed the fingerless gloves. Let's be realistic. Why do you think? Why do I need my?
So she could text and answer Facebook.
So I can text.
So she ended up getting a pair of extra small men's in order to be able to do that.
They actually say West Marine on them, so I'm assuming that's their brand or whatever. But West Marine, I need female girl ones, or I'll just keep, I guess, buying men's ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite color, so I don't care.
Now you're struggling to get them off.
They are not easy to get off, but I feel like they really should be a little tighter because, you know, once you start wearing them, I think they'll stretch a little.
Yeah.
The other thing that we bought was a toolkit for the boat, for our current boat. But I do have a video of that. I just need to see if I can. That, you know, we said we were having camera problems. The other problem is I can't get whatever I'm putting on my phone to go onto Google, because I save my phone videos and photos on Google and then pull them off on. Anyway, that's not working for some reason.
But we're going to change all of that anyway, because obviously at sea you can't get to Google Drive.
Well, let me tell you that I'm not the technical person, and Stephen can change all that, and then he can make it work and just, you know, plug and go, and that'll work good. I can't.
And then we did
I'll cook while you change all
a
that.
fairly rare thing. We went to John and Carino's for dinner. which happens once in a blue moon.
I mean, we've never been to Johnny Carino's together. The last time I went to Johnny Carino's, I lived almost in Texas, so close to Texas you could just hop over the line. And so it's been a long time, 13, 14, 15, maybe it's been a long time. Before I even met you, I think. But that's not what was so special about it, because we could have been at McDonald's, it wouldn't matter. What mattered was that we went to dinner in West Marine and Lake Ulaga, and we didn't have any children with us.
Yep, that was awesome. So we're fully booked to do a course in May.
We even booked camping spots at RedBud.
Because it's a 2-day course, so we're going to camp there while we're there doing it. And
I do feel like, do you not feel like this is a lot to take in 2 days? I know I have the book and I can read it now, but
you got to study it beforehand.
right, that I could read every word in this book and it doesn't mean that I understand it or that it makes sense to me. So I'm just wondering, like, that's a lot to teach, to be taught in 2 days, but we will see.
We will get there. Surely but slowly but sure.
Slowly but surely we will get there.
Yeah.
I guess we better start reading.
We need to go and get some sleep because we're tired.
I am exhausted. I haven't slept in like 2 days.
So we shall update you and we will see you again soon.
Okay. What's the most important thing? Let me see. Let me see this. What do you not see inside this car?
There's no kids.
So we're doing what?
We're having a kid-free day.